morning, lovelies. Today is the day I am starting work on my business and marketing plan. The things I'm tackling today are mission and vision statements. But before I get into that, I'm doing what should be the easiest bit, the details of my arts practice. The 6 P's of my current situation, which is a way of organising some information we'll use to develop the plan and distilling it into basic building blocks. The 6 P's of arts marketing are product, price, place, promotion, positioning, and people. At the end of this section of work, I should have 6 succinct points, ideally 1 or possibly 2 sentences that give a clear overview of my current arts practice in terms of those 6 P's. First of all, product. Product, of course, could be a service or an experience that you offer rather than a physical object. So for me, as a musician, it's performance, entertainment, or creating a particular ambience. As a music educator, it's providing opportunities for growth and development under specialist guidance. There are a few other creative things that I do and am willing to exchange in the market, but those are my 2 main products. If you're not clear on what your products are, you probably need to do some work on that and come back to this business stuff later. Not everything you do has to be for sale. You can have private creative outlets and they may or may not inform your paid work. The clearer I am about what it is that I actually do and what it is that I'm bringing to the market, the easier the rest of this will be. So what is my 1 sentence here? My product is musical performance and specialist education. Price, or what I am willing to exchange my products for. As I mentioned in the last video, it's not necessarily money. In the past, I've exchanged lessons on different instruments with other teachers, and early on in my performing life, I quite literally sang for my supper. But since we're working in the typical Western capitalist model, I'm going to think about money. For teaching music, there's usually some kind of professional organisation you can join locally that will help you out with pricing for this. But for musicians and performing artists everywhere, you will know there is a huge variance in pricing. Just write down what you're currently charging, even if, like me, you need to review pricing. I haven't reviewed pricing since 2017. My pricing will only help you if you offer similar services in Hobart. Elsewhere, you might charge more or less. I'm not going to give you any advice on a dollar value, but try to be transparent with your colleagues about pricing because it has happened that accidental undercutting can ruin it for everyone. Sure, you don't want to price yourself out of the market, but make sure you're getting what you're worth. And make sure it's also what your fellow artists think is fair in your area. Talk to other people. If you find no one wants to talk to you, get sneaky. Email asking for a quote. Prices are not secrets, and they shouldn't be. And if you find out you can earn twice as much if you move 2 towns over, that's also worth considering. Which brings us nicely to place, where you are, where your products are available, and the environment you need around you in order to create your product. Now, when I was traveling a lot, my place was more tied up with my performing life. I required certain equipment and staging to put on different types of shows, but these days that's not so much of a focus for me. My performances are very simple, and I've streamlined my teaching gear into a laptop, with occasional extras like headphones or my mini piano keyboard. So you can see when you're thinking about place, it's not just the geographic location. It's about the setup you need for your arts practice. Do you need a studio? Do you need a shop front? Do you need particular equipment? Are you able to travel? Do you need to travel? Do you have anything online? Can I order your products shipped to another country? All these things feed into your place. My place is Hobart. I'm based on the Eastern Shore in Clarence City Council, commuting to nearby areas, and to a more limited extent, I work online. A small following on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, as well as offering online singing lessons. Speaking of online stuff at the moment, that's about the only place I do any promotion at the moment, and it's limited to sharing content on my own social media. Promotion is the P I am currently weakest in. Hopefully, you're doing better than me. Maybe you've got a press kit or brochures or a great website. Do you do regular media releases? Do you pay for any online or print advertising? Have you got listings with local agents or promoters? What do you know about search engine optimization? At the moment, I'm lacking in all of these and more. When I work with others, I'm almost totally reliant on their promotional strategy. So already I can see this is where a lot of my energy is going to go in this whole planning process. Moving right along. Do you know who your audience are? Have you got an ideal audience, customer or client in mind? Positioning is all about how you or your product are perceived by the public. For me, I'm all about accessibility. I think it's important to foster creativity and community. That means I need to be positioned as friendly, inclusive, supportive, straight talking that anyone can understand without a music degree, and offering value for money. If your positioning doesn't put you in front of your target audience, you know this is an area you'll need to work on. If you're not sure who your target audience is, that's a good place to start. There can't be any kind of exchange without people. Positioning is dealt with the audience, customers or client base, but who are the other people you need in order to do what you do? Maybe you run an organization with actual staff, but for me, it's my fellow musicians, people with technical know-how in music production, the folks who run venues I work in, and the network of print and online media content creators. Even when you're technically a sole trader, as they call it here in Australia, there are all sorts of people you need to interact with to get the job done. Maybe you need to be involved in farmers markets or festivals or with the tourism industry. Maybe you rely on your spouse to take care of the kids and the housework while you're busy working. That spouse is a huge support to your work. We need to appreciate that and weave some kind of acknowledgement of our people into the plan. The people who support you are essential to your creative life. And we've moved past the idea of the tortured, lonely, misunderstood artist and realized they were just behaving badly. Okay, so we've got our 6 Ps: product, price, place, promotion, positioning, and people. Way back at the start of this video, I mentioned both mission and vision statements. What are they? And what's the difference between them? You might decide you only need one statement that covers both things, but a mission statement is why you started doing what you do. A vision statement is the impact you want your work to have. These two things might overlap or they might not. Sometimes you won't want to share one or other of these because it might seem silly or selfish or something, in which case you can just share the one you're comfortable with. I started in music because I grew up with hippie parents who took me to parties where it was normal to be singing and playing, and that's how you connected with people. So my mission statement, my why, is to foster a sense of community and connection through music. That statement has never changed, but my vision has changed and developed over the last 25 years. I used to want to share my own creativity with people, but now I want others to feel comfortable and confident to express themselves through music. Why do you do what you do? What is it that keeps you doing it? Drop a comment below with your own mission or vision statement. I would love to know. If you want to keep working on your plan with me or join me in my vision for self-expression, you can subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when new videos come out. I'll see you next time.